So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
What's up, guys, and welcome to Friday Night Mail. Before we get into Friday Night Mail, I'm going to use YouTube as therapy. A lot of people say it's for therapy, but I usually have nothing for which I need the therapeutic effect. But today I do, and yesterday I do, so we're gonna talk a little bit and I'm gonna complain. But I do wanna say before I start complaining, I am very happy that this is the biggest problem that I've had in my life in the recent past. So yeah, my life is pretty good, but sometimes you just wanna rant about dumb shit that happens, right? So yesterday at the gym, I always get something after I eat because they have a juice bar, and I always get something like a wrap or like a shake or something so that I don't have to use the food at home and I don't have to make something elaborate. They just make it for me. And I decided to try an acai bowl, right? And this is the whole reason why F&M wasn't up yesterday, mind you. So I tried this acai bowl because I'm like, yeah, why not? It has peanut butter in it. It's got like little granola stuff, acai, and then it's got like banana or something. The whole day after that, I'm just feeling like shit. I'm having these weird cramps. Girls, you might know what I'm talking about, but I have like these cramps where it feels like I'm about to get my period. Like, it's a really hard thing to explain. It's like an amalgam of feeling like you're really afraid, so like the sinking, dropping feeling in your stomach, but also feeling like your intestines are being pulled out through your uterus. So I was thinking, fuck, am I pregnant or something? And then the next day, today, I go back to the gym. The guy who usually makes our shakes, he's like, did you like the acai bowl? Because it was the first time I'd ever strayed away from the thing that I get because I'm very picky with food, so I only like 2 things on the menu. And I'm like, yeah, I liked it, but it made me sick. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I should have mentioned that it was also a detox. So this whole time I'm like freaking out yesterday, and I was feeling so shitty in my stomach area and stuff, and like it's weird because it was feeling like it was kind of like a laxative or something as well, but I wasn't shitting, so I'm like constipated. TMI, I know. Anyway, I spent all of yesterday worrying about whether or not I'm gonna be pregnant or something because my fucking little tracker thing is telling me that I'm in the fertile zone right now, and it's like freaking me out. So anyway, that's over and done with. Then today at the gym, I get a text from my friend, and he's like, are we gonna go draft tonight? Drafting's at 10 p.m. I was at the gym at 7 p.m. I'm like, you know what? Usually I would be like, oh, that's too much work to get ready by then, to get home and to get showered and to get changed, and I'm supposed to film F&M, but I wanted to play Magic so badly and I was regretting not making time for it, so I was just like, fuck it, yeah, let's do it. We want to go to the biggest place here, which is kind of downtown-ish, kind of like out of the way or whatever, but it is the biggest local game store here in Vegas, and they wanted to go, so I was like, fuck it, let's try it out. Jay and I leave about, I would say, 40 minutes early, and it says on the phone that it's gonna take 30 to 40 minutes to get there, right? It said, I think 31 minutes or something. So we get there like 45 minutes later because on the way there's some kind of construction on 95, and the fucking app doesn't know that, so it keeps trying to, like, we get off 95 and then it tries to take us back onto 95, but 95 is completely closed right now. Oh my god, it was a clusterfuck, and like my app was just recalculating, even though I was on like the right path. So finally we make it, and I'm like texting my friend like, where is this place? I'm not seeing the sign. The sign's pretty big, so I'm like, where the fuck is the sign? And I text him like a picture, like a screenshot of our directions, right? And he's like, holy fuck, you're 25 miles away or some shit like that. And I'm like, what? So I look at the other app, the Google app, because you know there's like the Maps app on your phone, and then there's also like the Google Maps app you can get, or you can just go straight from like the Chrome app on your phone and it opens a totally different direction thing. So I opened that one, and that one is telling me that we're 25 minutes away, and we went way too north. Like, we're way up north. Like, oh my god. We're already 15 minutes to this draft, and if you guys don't know what drafting is, it's basically you can't show up late. You can't get a game loss or anything like that because it requires, the drafting process requires everyone to sit around in a circle and pass cards. So like, we have to be there for the very beginning of the tournament, you know? And on top of that, our friend had convinced the owner of the store to restart the draft because there wasn't going to be a draft because most people are in Sacramento for the Grand Prix. So they didn't have enough people to fire the draft without us. So us being 25 minutes away, we're like, fuck it. We can't get there in time. It would be over an hour late, and we just went home, and I was feeling dejected and like an asshole for making these people go out there and try to draft. I didn't get to play Magic. I was sweating my ass off in the car because the car was overheating because it was just like stop and go traffic where like the freeway that's supposed to be like 4 lanes went down to literally 1 lane, and everyone's just piling in, and Vegas drivers are way worse than Seattle drivers, probably out there rivaling LA drivers. It was, whew. Now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and do Friday Night Mail. I feel so much better. Thank you guys for listening. So, the winner of this week's giveaway is Chris O. Congrats! Congratulations, Chris O. It's funny because in the place where he's supposed to put which prize he wants, he put like some old password from Patreon into that little slot, so I have no idea which he wants, but once he gets back to me, I do know who he is. He makes a bunch of really cool graphics for me, so he will get his prize whenever he gets back to me. Love you, Chris. Let's go ahead and answer some questions and open some packages. As you can see, this package has already been opened. I'm sorry. It's a deck box for Magic, and I wanted it for my draft deck, which I didn't end up needing, so I could have just left it closed and had it for F&M. But yeah, I was trying to explain that I was sweating in the car. I'm going all over the place, and that's why I'm like this, because it's really fucking hot, but I think this lounge thing is really cute, and I also think this is less sexy, and why not be sexy in my own home? Obviously, I can't do this at Magic. Maybe I could if I put like a sweater over it and pretended it was a shirt, but still. I've done things like that before. In fact, I've worn a shirt exactly like this with just like a cardigan over it. But I digress. If anyone is watching this video, any of you 6 people who I let down by not making it to fire the draft, I apologize. We found out afterward that when Jay types in the address to this place, the app doesn't register it, and it does that thing where it's like, do you want to find places close to this? It says nearby location or something like that, and he clicks it, and it took us just to a random place on Las Vegas Boulevard. A random place, like a random place really north on Las Vegas Boulevard. The worst. And let me tell you, traffic on the Las Vegas Boulevard on the Strip, not pretty. Not pretty in the slightest. And kind of creepy at night, to be honest. First question comes from Callie Gibson. She says, question, how do you keep a long-term relationship exciting and satisfying in the bedroom? If you answered this kind of question before, please tell me which video it was answered in. Wink. Personally, for me, you just have to really keep challenging each other outside of the bedroom. So like to stay fit, to remain sexy, to keep evolving as a person, and to evolve together. That's a big part of it, because if you guys let yourselves go and stuff like that, and just assume that, oh, this is a long-term relationship, or oh, we have kids now, we don't need to care about that anymore, your relationship will shrivel. And neither of you are gonna be happy if you don't feel confident in yourselves in the first place. Another thing, if that's not the problem, and it's just like been kind of a while and you've done everything or whatever, is to just be way more open than you've ever felt comfortable with about your desires. Like literally just start talking to him about the most fucked up fantasies that you've ever had in the deepest recesses of your mind. Don't ever allow something like being uncomfortable or feeling embarrassed to stop you from talking about the things that you want to do. It might not lead to anything, it might be impossible, kind of like a really realistic rape fantasy or something, or like something that would cause infidelity, but talking about that kind of stuff with most people is gonna make it sexier. And maybe you guys will find something that you can try together that you haven't tried before. Personally, I don't have to do a lot of like really weird or extra stuff to keep the spark going with Jay. I don't know if I'm just still infatuated with him as well as having a more partnership relationship with him now or something, and he just keeps getting hotter, so like I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'm just more of the kind of person that when something works and I'm getting off with that something, I don't really need extra new stuff going on. Maybe I've just found what I like. Or maybe it's the fact that we're in a non-monogamous relationship and that kind of brings a spark to it somehow, I don't know. Other than when we're having threesomes, which definitely brings a spark to it. I don't really have many pieces of advice for that aren't just like the standard cosmopolitan, just like try new shit in bed or watch porn together or go to a sex club or go to a strip club or something. Just try new shit. But also keep in mind that maybe, as long as you aren't raising children together at the moment, maybe this person isn't the person that can keep your interest for that long. Maybe it's just over. Or on the other end, maybe the relationship is so stable and so great that you need to work on the sex relationship even if it isn't staying as passionate as you wanted it to be. There are stages of love, and it's supposed to be completely normal for you to kind of fall out of romantic, passionate love with the person, but I am still a firm believer in continued passionate love and good sex. We'll see, maybe when I'm in my 40s I'll change my mind. Doubtful though. Thank you for the question. I'm sorry I gave kind of a bullshit answer. The next question comes from Brandon Beamish. What's up, Brandon? He says, hello, Tara. Question. On a previous F&M, you mentioned having something of a cop fetish. What is it exactly about somebody like a cop that turns you on? Does this extend to other authority figures / uniformed individuals like a doctor, a soldier, a construction worker, etc.? Love your face. Keep on being awesome. So, of all of those things you mentioned, a doctor, soldier, and construction worker, the one that turns me on the least least is doctor. I do like a man in uniform, which would be the soldier, and I do like a hard-working man who works with his hands and does manual labor, like a construction worker. I've always thought that I would have no problem marrying or dating a construction worker or someone who does menial labor and doesn't make that much money, because to me, it's all about him just being virile and sexy and being stable and having a work ethic, and it's not necessarily for me about someone making money because I make my own money. And even if I didn't, I would still rank it pretty low on the prospects list. I just find sweaty balls too attractive to pass up a construction worker who's hot. But for police, it's a special and different kind of fetish. It's not so much the whole like uniform or authority. Well, it's kind of the authority, but it's like a different facet of it. Let me try to explain. What I like about cops is pretty much the same thing I like about Ben Shapiro. They seem to have this kind of power, the kind of power that leads you to be very straight-laced. Like someone who is churchy or nerdy or a good guy or a married guy that's only had sex with one girl. Those kind of people, or like police who have to uphold the law and be very good and moral and honest and do this service for us. It's really hard and scary and they're devoting their lives to it. That kind of thing is fun to corrupt. I love seeing the dirty sides, the dark sides of people. Everyone has a dark side within them. There's always quote unquote good and evil in every person, and I like bringing out a little bit of the depravity in people who otherwise in their public lives seem very not depraved. So the idea of a cop that's supposed to uphold these laws, using his handcuffs on me or doing something that would scare a lot of the people he protects day to day or a lot of the other people at the precinct would be, it's really hot. Cops are just hot. And I also think they're underrated and underappreciated. And they carry a gun and a nightstick and a taser and handcuffs. All those sexy weapons. I don't know, just my vision of a cop is always like, no matter what's going on around them, they're just so stoic. I want to break that stoicism and see a little bit of passion. I would totally give a blowjob to get off of a parking ticket, but I would never suggest it because I don't want to go to jail. The next question comes from Thomas I. Deletta. Hopefully I pronounced that right. He says, question, what kind of music do you listen to? I listen to just about everything, but rock/metal is my favorite. Big fan, love ya. I like a lot of stuff too. Pretty much the only stuff I don't like is the really popular music of today. I like older pop and I like older rap, but those are my least two favorite genres. In order, it goes most metal, prog rock, classic rock, and just alternative rock in general. Then it goes like country music, then like classical Beethoven style stuff that I don't really listen to that often, but I appreciate. But definitely my favorite has to be metal and classic rock. Classic rock being my childhood and metal being my here and now. Fuck yeah. Or my last 10 years, I guess. Nice to see other people into metal as their main genre because I feel like it's rare these days. And then sometimes when people say metal, they mean like Five Finger Death Punch, and it's like, that's more like alternative rock in my opinion. Last question is from Geek Locker. He says, I'm a guy and I've been growing my hair out for about a year now. However, over the past few months, my hair has transformed into a frizzy ball of crap. So question, this is some weird English, but I'm gonna translate it. How do you keep your hair strong and limit the frizz? Okay, so it depends on what kind of climate you're in and what you've grown up in your entire life. My hair is shit. It's actually like lifeless and falling off when it used to be like down to here, like really strong and awesome. Because I moved from a very wet climate, a very humid climate, over here where there's no moisture. Your hair needs a lot of moisture. So look at your skin and look at your hair. Did your hair get greasy after one day, or can you go like 10 days without washing it? If you can go 10 days without washing it, without it being like super greasy and matted down and gross, then you need more hydration. So you should probably look into like a hair mask that you can put on once a week in the shower. Leave it on for 5 minutes and it'll leave your hair silkier, smoother, and it'll have more protein and more hydration. You can look into the argan oil products. They're pretty expensive, but they're really good for just like putting on. Here, I'll show you one. I'll go get it. So this is my argan oil. It's a Moroccan oil, and it's the light version because I have really thin hair, so I don't want to make it super greasy. But I put this on my hair like once a day, on the ends and stuff like that. Other than that, just make sure you're getting trims, even if you're growing it long, because split ends and stuff like that, or you can even, this is what I do. I just take my hair like this up to a light, and you can see if there's like a split end. I just take hair cutting scissors, which you can get on Amazon for pretty cheap, and just like cut all of the split ends and stuff. If your hair is still kind of short, I recommend going to a hairdresser and having her just do like a tiny trim. You can call it a dusting, just to get off the split ends. If you remember those keywords, I know you're a dude, so I don't expect you to be like all in tune with this bullshit. But having nice hair unless you're like genetically gifted as fuck. Does take a lot of work. Jay, when he was younger, he grew out his hair and he had like a literal afro when it was like this long, but when he got it down to like this long, and he had it this long for a point, it was just like mildly curly and actually looks kind of nice. It was like nice waves. If you have actually curly hair, you can ask a hairdresser, and I recommend going to a female hairdresser at a real hairdressing place and asking how you can get rid of these things that bother you, because they'll probably give you some products that you can try out and give you some tips. But just keep it hydrated, drink a lot of water, take biotin. Biotin is never in concentrated enough amounts for you to have enough for your hair, skin, and nails to grow faster and better. Because I live in a super desolate desert, I actually have a humidifier that goes at night that is trying to get the moisture back into my hair, but I don't know, it's like a long ass process and it's not going very well and I'm pretty dejected about it. So if you figure anything out, please let me know, because yeah, there's things like pool water, or if you have hard water where you live, hard water is so bad for you. I actually have a filter on my shower because hard water just like fucks your hair up. It leaves like calcium deposits on your hair, but it's actually good for you to drink because it has minerals in it and those are good for you. I'm going off on a tangent here. Basically, I don't have everything figured out, but hydration and personal hygiene and seeing whether or not you're too greasy or too dry is pretty much the basics. And this definitely helps for frizziness. Like if you put a little bit, let's see, like, okay, I have hat hair right now. So let's say you have all of these like little flyaways like this. You can always just like put a tiny amount, hold on, like just the tiniest amount, and then just like go like this, and don't even like put it on your hair hard. But this will just keep it like silky smooth. It's really nice and it doesn't like weigh your hair down. Like see, now it looks silkier. I don't know how to explain it, but it smells really good too. It's kind of expensive though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't always buy it because it's like, that's probably like 30 bucks or something just for that much, but you don't really need that much. You just need like one pump. Oh, I hope that helps. If you have any specific questions, feel free to follow up in the comments. And guys, leave your comments down below. Also sign up for the giveaway. Link as always will be in the description. Okay, before we get into this, I have to show you guys my ass because I fucking love these leggings. These are called Peachy Official, or Just Peachy. They're from Just Peachy. Just Peachy Official is their Instagram, and I got these at the Olympia last year, and they're my favorite leggings. Look at the fucking, like, they're the best wedgie leggings literally ever. And I have a guy that keeps bitching at me about like more wedgie stuff. So there you go, dude. Let's move on to opening boxes. Here's our first box. I bought this for myself. It's really cool. You're gonna like it even if you don't play Magic. Look at this. Oh my God, it's so cool. I was bringing it to my draft. That didn't actually happen. But it's heat activated. It's so funny, in the car, when I pulled this out when we got home, it was completely yellow because the car got that hot. Isn't that cool? And then it just goes back to like the regular orange, and they have them in like a bunch of different colors. I can like write my name on it. And then if we leave it alone here, like watch, if we leave it alone right there, it will eventually be orange again, and it'll be orange pretty quickly. But yeah, I bought myself that, and I also bought myself this. I'm gonna get into standard soon. So I bought myself the 2 deck boxes. One for if I ever get a burn deck or just draft right now. And then one for standard. And this is the one I got for standard. The one I normally use for standard, this one has 2 decks worth of space inside of it. You can have 2 decks in here, like one here and one over here. But the problem with that is when you're playing competitive Magic, you're not allowed to have like another deck in your deck box because people, I don't know, can cheat with it. Like if they have extras of cards, they can somehow cheat with it. So it's just like a rule. And I've gotten in trouble once for it before, even though none of the cards were in standard because it's a modern deck that's with my standard deck. And none of them were the correct colors, so it's like up to the judge, and I don't like leaving things up to Magic judges, if you know what I mean. You gotta fucking just play by the rules. Magic judges, if there was ever any hot Magic judges, that's someone I'd want to fuck too, because they take their job way too seriously. They're like literal cops, but times 10. It is a hot pink guard, or fucking ultimate guard flippin' tray. Jay has one of these in black, and I've always been jealous, so I decided to get one of them myself. This holds 80 cards plus dice, you'll see. This is what it looks like. And then this flips open, and here's where you put your cards, so you can take the tray out for your cards. And then on the top, this flips open, and you can take this out, and this is where the dice goes. Right now, I actually like what's holding my dice. It's not up here, but it's a Pokeball, a Master Ball that opens up, and then I just put all my dice in there, and I got that idea from Jay, who got that idea from seeing someone else do something similar. So yeah, those are the things I bought myself this week. Good job, Tara. I think I'm just gonna buy all of the fun things I buy through my P.O. box, and then I'll just show off basically my shopping list. I don't often buy myself things from my wish list or anything, but when there's something I really want, might as well just show it off to you guys. I also have a haul coming from Merchoid, which is gonna be cool, a bunch of nerdy stuff for the other channel. But anyway, we have one more thing left. And look at that. It's orange again. I love it. It's so cool. Like, I never, like, what? People are gonna grab my deck box and think they, like, ruined it or something. It's gonna be so great. I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm just gonna let people think they fucked it up and then be like, hey, you owe me 20 bucks. No, I'm not gonna do that. We have one more package. Let's open it. Damn, that booty dough. That booty dough. Dude, I have been so happy with my workout results too, by the way, guys. I need to make a whole video of workout updates. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Oh. All right, what's in here? Lovely LMT. May Queen Eve enjoy her wellness center with one L. What the fuck, rubber tongue? Look at this. Look at this. Turn down the light. It says, can you, oh, I gotta go get Vlad. Ein Minuten. All right, so I brought you guys my draft bag. This is my draft bag. I'm out of breath. Draft sleeves and draft lands, Zendikar lands. Life total book if it's competitive. Fucking pen for if it's competitive. And if it's not competitive, boogie board. Dice! Look at this. Oh, yes. And then Vlad, which I bring literally everywhere. So this is Rubber Tongue's note. He says, lovely LMT, may Queen Eve enjoy her wellness fucking center. Eve, isn't it preposterous that he spelled it that way? She doesn't care. All right, let's get out the wellness center. More ass. Ugh. Okay. So here it is. My mom has one of these for her two cats, by the way, which are doing awesome. Here's a funny picture my dad sent me of them recently. Very cute. I actually can't log into their Instagram anymore, and Instagram's unhelpful in fixing it. So yeah. This is from Catit, which is probably my favorite cat company. And it's like a little wellness thing for cats where they can rub up against it. And then there's some catnip that you can stick underneath it. It's basically just like a self-grooming station for cats. Eve just jumped up onto my screen. Let me show you. Eve! What? Can't see her, I can only see myself. Do you see those paws? Look at that, there's the kitty. Pretty kitty. What are you doing? You're so fluffy. All right, let's get it together so she can enjoy her wellness center. And I'll post some footage at the end of her enjoying it if she does actually enjoy it. Take the top off the catnip. Some good catnip right there, boys. All right, I put some catnip in there. Now I gotta put this on with the sticky pads. All right, there it is. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Also, ring the bell, turn on notifications, do that shit, jerk your dick, have fun, shake your booty, twerk it. I don't give a fuck. Just do whatever makes you happy, as long as it doesn't infringe on the rights of others. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you so much. Thank you for allowing me to vent. I feel 100% better now, and I am very blessed. The only thing wrong with me is not being able to go to a draft I wasn't going to go to in the first place. Love you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend. What is left of it. Bye. Let's do ass more. Oh yeah, what is that? Is that wet? Wah, 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 na, 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 wah, wah. Bye. You like that? You gonna rub your face on it? She just wants to get to the catnip. Oh. She's investigating. You don't like it? Or you don't know yet? You don't know? She likes boxes better.